Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche, and I'm at Indianola Fishing Marina, and this is one of the first outings that I'm getting to try the new cameras we got for the channel so we can do our recording. However, they were playing music while I was recording, so a lot of it will be deleted. And sorry, the sights and sounds are so awesome, but at the same time too, I cannot take a chance and get hit with copyright fines and or yeah, it could be very, very costly, so I'm trying not to do that.
Gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go, yeah, I gotta line. I'ma call the whole team.
So with the fishing marina, we actually sell them our fishing tackle. They got our double drop drum rigs, our big black drum rigs, snapper, kingfish, whiting, pompano. They've got all kinds of our leaders there, and if they don't, be sure and let them know and they will get it in. So they even got our no rolls, with the snaps, egg weight rolls, basically a Carolina rig, and they got them up to like the 5 ounces, so it's pretty nice. They also supply bait, tackle, food, and they got a bar right here with a seating area that is shaded as well. And I'm telling you what, they got a really, really pretty area they got setting up, so I look forward to the fishing. And today, actually, when I was setting up, we heard of 2 big black drum that were caught while I was helping them get the leaders into their inventory, so that way we can get to fishing. Now, one thing you gotta know about this pier is, yes, they also have an area where you can launch boats. And right here on the right side, that's where the boats come in. So when you are fishing out that right side, you can fish crosswise, but you gotta pay attention to the boat traffic, and you gotta be prepared to pull those lines in quickly to get it out of that area where the boats are gonna be coming through. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be using 2 of my leaders. One is a Jack Crevalle casting leader that we have the improved setup on, and it's something that we're testing. It has a float similar to the Pompano leader floats, except it's a bit bigger, and it's made bigger so that way obviously we're fishing with bigger hooks and bigger bait and everything. And I want to test a theory. I'm wondering if maybe we can get the bait off the bottom. Will it hook up or increase our hookup ratio? And if it is, well, then I actually want to be able to put leaders out there that we can do it. So before I start investing a whole lot of time and effort into it, I got to make sure that it's going to work out. So it is something else I got to look into. And real quick, I want to put out there too, their rod limit to fish on the pier when there's a lot of people is 1 per person. However, when they say when it's empty, that you can fish with 2. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, well, I'm letting y'all know I'm walking in with 4. And the reason being, because I wasn't going to leave my 2 rods out in the truck. I've got 4 Harrington fishing rods with me. The 2 are 9 foot and 2 are 10 foot. And with that being said, I had 4 because the night before I went alligator gar fishing. Well, I hadn't unloaded them at the shop. But this is also something else to share with y'all guys. One of the main things that we promote when fishing is fishing etiquette. One of the first things right off the bat, if a lot of people would have started showing up, I would have pulled one of my fishing rods out and followed that 1 roll limit, because obviously one person does not own that whole corner. You know what I mean? If there's a spot to fish, other people are allowed to fish there. You cannot sit there on a public pier, especially when everybody pays just like you did. And even if they get there after you guys, you cannot bogart 10 foot to your right or 10 foot to your left. That's not the way public piers work, guys. Now, if you're down the beach you know, you're 50 miles down and I come and I park right up next to you, well, then by all means, hey, bro, like, really? You got to be right up on me kind of deal? I can understand that. You know what I mean? So, you know, when I go down beach, I like to find a spot that I'm miles away from everybody on my right or left. But, I mean, can't help if somebody sets up, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 yards away from you on either direction. It don't matter. But the point I'm putting out here is, guys, if you're going to follow into these piers, you got to follow the rules and regulations before you even walk out there. And yes, I have the 4 rods, but you see, they are stowed. They're not on the handrail. They're not guarding any part of that pier. Even though I'm expecting people to come, I cannot protect a certain area of that pier waiting for them to get there. Whether they get there or they don't, you know, I cannot do that. So that is proper etiquette. Right off the bat, if I was doing that, I am automatically in the wrong, and anybody else trying to fish there next to me really has the precedence to be able to fish there, because I should not be fishing with 4 rods or have 2 in the water and 2 more blocking out a 20-foot section. That just does not work, guys. And one of the main things with the channel and everything that we do in here is pass on the knowledge and the information to open your minds and hearts to understanding that if you do fish a public pier, you must understand this deal, because they set up these piers so people can fish elbow to elbow. They literally do. And I've been out there fishing on the pier where it was elbow to elbow, and there was literally no room for nobody else to get in, so they didn't allow anybody else onto the pier. They said they had to wait for somebody to leave the pier or that area before they could allow anybody else in to fish. So I have seen it. It has happened, you know. And there is the rig right there. You can see the bigger size float on there. I will be using blue crab for bait. They are live, but I'm going to be piecing them up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split them in half. I'm going to be using the bait elastic to wrap them up, because I don't have any pantyhose. And yep, they are feisty critters. So while I'm setting this up, getting back to that pier situation right there, you know, it's something that has been coming to light all over. It's not just with me, it's with other people too. You know, you've seen on live Facebook feeds, you've seen in other YouTube channels where people are like, hey, you're too close, you're too this. You got to understand, guys, you're on a public pier. The coronavirus is pretty much over and done with. You know, there's no 6-foot minimum, or, you know, to be near some other people. You know, people can literally be elbow to elbow with you. And as long as they're not crossing your line, you really have no right to tell them, hey, you cannot fish near me. I mean, if you're going to be like that, guys, do not fish a public pier. It is something that we don't know how many times we got to tell people. You know, if you want to be alone fishing, you want to have your own spot, well, build your own private pier on your own private land, and nobody will be near you. And you can, by all means, say whatever rules and regs you want. But when you're on a public pier, each one of these piers will tell you if there's a spot for a fishing rod to fit, they're allowed to fish it, guys. You are not allowed to block out any portion of that. And probably gonna have a lot of people hate on this video because of that. You know, I've seen it on other bigger YouTubes that's already happening. You know, guys, I'm sorry, I'm with them. You know, if there's a spot to be able to fish, you should be able to fish. Even alongside me, if I have my fishing rods there, if you cast out, as long as you move your rod to the right or left and you're not fishing on top of my line, like literally cross my line and trying to fish across it, by all means, get your lines out, get them in there, and go from there. Obviously, if there's a space, if there's rod holders there and they're all taken up, obviously you cannot split rod holders or try to put one, you know, where they don't have it set up. Like Causeway Pier, they have holes specifically to limit the amount of rods in that area. So on those benches, you have those. You're not going to sit there and cast in between 2 rods and try to lay it down, because that's not the way the pier is fished. So that's going to be something else. Each pier may have its own rules and regs. Some allow 3, some allow 4, some allow 1. On the beach, if you're salt fishing here in Texas, there is no rod limit. I know in freshwater, I believe you can only use up to 99 hooks in your whole fishing. Like if you have fishing rods, you have trout lines or whatever set out, you can only fish 99 hooks. So there's going to be a lot of stuff you got to do some research on and find out, and to ensure that you are in the right before you can tell anybody else that they're in the wrong. Because if you're in the wrong off the bat, then you really don't have no right to tell anybody that you are, you know, they're doing wrong or whatever. So like I said, you know, right here I talked to the pier. They said nobody's fishing in that area, you're okay. But if somebody shows up, I said I'll put them away, I'll just use the one or whatever. But since nobody was out, pretty much from the whole right side of the pier, it was empty. And so I took advantage of it, because it gave me the ability to do this side-by-side testing that I was trying to get with one leader with the float on there, the other leader without a float on there. So let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, I got me the Swiss cheeseburger right there, with tater tots. However, I'm kind of tall, and the benches were made kind of short, so I'm gonna go ahead and sit in the bar area, which is also in the shade. And with the breeze coming through, is a whole different ball game when you just sit in the shade. Still watch your fishing rods and enjoy some good music and some beverages. So right here, as I was eating, I noticed that this boat was coming in. So I made my way as quickly as I could around the walkway there and back up to where my rod's at, just to make sure that they were okay and that I was okay too. Because we definitely got to, like I said, have a little common courtesy between the boaters and the fishermen. I knew I had casted my lines out straight, so I was good, but I got right around the camera area and I saw that they were far enough from my line, so it was good to go. One of the things I noticed too is started getting a hit. So I started making my way around the walk area out to where my fishing rods were, because the one that got hit right there on the right side, that's a 553 Harrington. So for it to bend, there's definitely something pretty big messing with my bait. And like I said, I am using half blue crab on there. Let's see what we get. Alright guys, so one of the things also too was the last bait. Once I used the split crab, I threw on a pincher because I have caught a lot of crab on the pincher, or caught a lot of big black drum using blue crab pinchers for bait. So over here on the left side of the pier, there was a group of fishermen that were over there. There was 4 of them, or 3 of them, and they had 4 rods out, and they caught 2 drum in the meantime that I was doing all of this. So I decided to change up my game a little bit and add a little bit of fish bite to my hook and go ahead and get it back out there with the crab portion of the half. I ended up opening up another crab. So let's see how this works out for me. Alright guys, so they got another drum. I'm down to my last 2 crab, and I only got maybe I think I only had like 30 minutes left or 20 minutes left on this fishing trip, because I also had to get back to Corpus with enough time to get to the bank to make my deposits and get on with the next day. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is pull them in and rebait out with 1 whole crab on each of them, but I'm going to trim them up just a little bit. Basically, I'm going to take off the points and the outer ends of the legs with my knife and go and get them on their hole, and see how that rocks out for me. There we go. That's the one I just got right there. Last minute kind of trip. And then they got a redfish right there. Oh yeah. Indianola fishing marina.
Take a picture with that fish.
Hey, if you don't mind. Actually, if you just hold it like that, it's on video.
It's on video? Okay,
yeah.
Well, just video. Okay, there you go. Ooh, look at the fin on that.
Oh yeah,
It's got fungus on it or something.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
That's a lot of growth, man. Wow.
Well, anytime there's bone exposed,
Yeah.
the algae will grow on it.
That's actually what it is, yeah. The calcium buildup from the bones right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's pretty cool. Here you go. Here's your video. It's still running.
Thank you, thank you.
If you want to let it go, I'll throw it. Whatever you're gonna do. Oh, whoa, whoa. All right, here you go.
Está bien. Good job. 41.5. Alright guys, so the reason why there was no fight footage is because that camera had died after 2 hours of being on, and I missed the whole fight. I thought it was on there, and no, I missed it. Missed the whole landing of my fish and his fish, so I grabbed my other phone and I was able to capture, you know, me measuring out the fish and the other gentleman's redfish as well. So that was one of the main reasons that instigated me to get new phones, because the night before it happened to me with the alligator gar, and now it happened to me with my big black drum. And you know, I was trying to give a good video for Indianola, you know, to show the kind of fishing they got there, and it didn't work out because my cameras didn't have the ability to go for long term. So because of that, I had to go through drastic measures to make sure that that didn't happen again. And I'm going to continue testing with getting as much camera footage as I can per trip to truly give this Teach a Man to Fish series everything that is truly involved with fishing. And that is a lot of time between not catching, losing tackle, building tackle, and everything in between, guys, because I want to give y'all a first-hand account of what it takes for us to go through and catch fish and show how we do it. And a lot of it is through trial and error of learning new things, trying new things, and just thinking outside the box of how we can improve our fishing. And by us recording it also gives y'all the ability to go through and see what we're doing and try out different things too to maybe increase your fishing ability. So this is a great thing for us. If you're new to the channel, stay tuned to our 20,000 subscriber mark, as we will be giving away 12 prizes, 4 MXL Raptors, 14 hard life rods, and 4 spools of 100-pound braid for the MXL Raptors. And if we can get, which I believe we truly can, we got 16 more days before the month ends to be able to get 2,300 more subs, so that way we can get to 20,000 subs, so we can add in 4 more places of a shark fishing trip with us and Team Locos on the beach for a 24-hour minimum shark fishing trip. So if y'all haven't shared our channel to the different social medias that are out there, guys, please do so and encourage them to subscribe to a knowledge-based channel that keeps it all positive. We don't like any trolling, guys, but we do appreciate constructive criticism. You know, we want to grow, we want to learn, and we do something wrong, and by all means, you know, let us know how we can improve, most definitely. But we will not take belittling or belittling of anybody else in our channel too. So right here, as you noticed, there was more fishermen that showed up, and there was that family there. So I took out one of my rods for a good time period there, and I just fished with the one, because like I said, and I told them too, that, or in the pier also said, you know, when other people show up, if you'll do us that favor. And I said, yeah, because for the pier, they allow 1, but 2 if there's nobody there. And since their family had just shown up, and I mean, they caught within 15 minutes of being there, I had already pulled out my other rod. So it stayed out for the rest of the trip, and then I had to go ahead and get on and get home. Gotta get back to work because I'm going gar fishing tonight.